Hey folks, welcome back. My name is Radha. This is my platform She Talks Ball, where I cover interesting stories from sports and whatnot. See my videos, you'll get a gist of it. Today I'm talking about the India versus Belarus fixture. Now there's an international break going on for the women's football universe. And I'm very glad to see India playing some matches as well, and them being actually streamed on the Uzbekistan FA platform. So yeah, the final whistle has just blown. It was quite an intense match with a bit of a last minute twist, but here I am to talk about it. In case you missed the game, in case you watched it and want to just chat about it, go for it in the comments. I'm going to reply to everyone. And yeah, the only way to create more demand for women's sports is to create conversation, content, and coverage. That's what I'm trying to do, but it's incomplete without you guys engaging with it as well. So without further ado, let's quickly get into a very, very concise match review. Now, Belarus is ranked 56 while India is ranked 53. So rankings wise, you see India is a little bit better off, but we see Uzbekistan was ranked 41 and India was ranked 53. So they were a mile ahead of us, but we had a really close match where it ended 1-0 to Uzbekistan. Anyways, the match started, India versus Belarus. 4:30 p.m. IST, so a great time for us, at least me as a student, but if anybody who's working then probably had to take a little bit of time off within their office schedule. But here we go, it was a very end-to-end fixture. I think the ball was moving right from one box to another. There was a lot of possession change. I didn't think one team really could gain control of possession for a long span of time. A lot of times the ball would just be given away or stolen, so that made the match a little cagey, a little edgy. There was no real complete attack from one side. Now obviously, since the rankings were much closer, the match itself was much closer. The first half ended 0-0. Both teams had a few shots on goal, but nothing that made us go, oh, they could have scored that one. And I think both teams took a little while to adjust to each other as well. And we both came out in the second half with, I'm saying we as if I was playing, but you get it, when your team is playing, you end up saying we. So India and Belarus came out in the second half with obviously something to prove. This is just a friendly match, but obviously for Belarus, they're ranked lower. It's always good to win a game against a higher ranked side. In the second half, it was a similar story. There were shots on goal on both sides, but it seemed to be like nobody was able to convert. Aditi Chauhan was doing really well in goal for India. And then we have finally, in I think the 61st minute or 62nd minute, a penalty awarded to Belarus. It was, in my opinion, it was a penalty. I believe she got the player and didn't get the ball. I'll attach the clip here. But yeah, it was a penalty. Aditi guessed the right side but was not able to get to the ball. And that made it 1-0 to Belarus. Obviously, confidence was high for them thereafter. They kept attacking consistently. India were always trying to continue their attacking momentum, and they were just not clinical enough in the final third. But they didn't park the bus or go into defensive mode, which was good to see. And then again in the 75th or 76th minute, Belarus came back, attacking very well, slipped it past our back line, and the Belarus captain managed to get one more in the goal. So suddenly, after a very tight game up until the 60th minute, suddenly it was Belarus 2, India 0. And it was getting a bit worrying, but we didn't see India's morale drop at all, which I'm sure Memol, Rocky, and the entire Indian squad will take away a lot from. And then finally, I had gotten onto my phone and I was checking Twitter, and I hear this loud cheer. And you won't believe it, but with the last kick of the game, India scored a worldie goal. I think it was, I haven't checked the distance. I'm going to put the clip so you can check the distance yourself. It was easily, 30, not even 30, I think 40, 45 yards out from the goal. Just quite amazing. Sangeeta took that shot, and as it was flying towards the post and towards the frame of the goal, her hands were on her mouth. She couldn't believe what was happening. And the ball, hit the goalie and then trickled into the goal, which was quite amazing. I mean, literally after that, the final whistle blew and both teams made their way back into the changing room. But I don't know, that goal was such a bittersweet moment because it showed us that we could do that. I mean, we were trying to do that all along, but we just didn't take more shots on goal. We kept trying to drive into the box, and one decent shot on goal, and that took place. We got a goal. But it also shows that I think we have to do that much earlier. and Belarus suddenly didn't have a clean sheet anymore, and they'll be going home with some questions as well. So all in all, India versus Belarus 2, India 1. India end their international break with 2 losses, one versus a higher ranked side, one versus a lower ranked side. Memol Rocky has continuously said that India are playing with new players, trying to prep for the AFC Women's Championship in 2022 when India hosts. So it's going to be awesome to see that tournament take place. Obviously, Bala Devi, Dalima Chibbar, and some of our well-known players are not playing in these matches because they have commitments elsewhere and didn't make the flight or didn't travel over to Uzbekistan. So it remains very interesting. Everyone, I encourage you to continue following the Indian women's team. As I've mentioned in the last video, if you're an Indian football fan, you are a fan of the women's game as well. So I encourage you to follow the women's team. I mean, 2022 is probably going to be the biggest year in Indian women's football that ever existed. And it'll be great if more and more people can be a part of that. So that's it from me. I might attach a few links in the description to any match review or any match updates that I see. So you can go and read that as well to get a better idea of what took place. This match was on April 8th of 2021. And yeah, I'll see you next time in whatever new video I make. There seems to be no consistency in what I'm doing. But I'll see you then, and keep following women's sports, keep supporting it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.